Another night has passed, with dreams that turned into haunting nightmares. Many of us strive to break free from the chains that hold us back, seeking change through various means. For some, that might be as simple as establishing a morning routine, while for others it could mean a complete career overhaul. But it's once we start to feel comfortable again that we confront the harsh truth that not much has truly changed. Because deep down, we still feel the same. We still look the same. And even our hearts feel as empty as a hopeless game.
EA Sports, it's in the game.
While we still yearn for that single defining moment that we believe could alter our destinies. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, the question remains. If that moment arises, will you take it? Or will you ignore it and let yourself spiral further into self-destruction?
Welcome to White Hart Lane, and this is Tottenham Hotspur.
A warm welcome to you all. Without further delay, we are pleased to introduce your new manager.
Managing a club like Tottenham is a task like no other tasks. A task some of the biggest managers have failed to succeed in. It's like teaching a cow how to swim. It's not impossible, just very difficult. And it all starts with the club's expectations. I already knew this was gonna be a hell long of a season. So anyways, I took the chance to have a look at the team, and I could not believe my eyes. Well, I actually could, because it's Spurs. I actually expected a lot worse, but anyways, I digress. So let's start with the basics. What the hell is this formation? I took the time to set everything up, at least formation and tactics wise, and made sure to inform the scouts of what I was looking for to improve the squad. However, before bringing in some new faces to the team, I first wanted to experience the players I had on the pitch. So as the days passed by, we did some training.
Can you see?
Oh my God.
What the dog doing?
Good evening.
Oh my God.
You're doing great, honey!
Until we finally reached the first preseason tournament game. Before I go into the game, I want to make sure you understand something. So, the board expects me to win at least one silverware this season. Doesn't matter which one, Spurs needs to lift a trophy at the end of the season. So I've counted up all the leagues and tournaments we play in, which are in total 5 trophies. The Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and even the Preseason Tournament Cup. This means we have 5 chances, 5 different places where we could snatch a trophy, including this one. So let's get into it. So in preseason you only play 3 games in the group stages. So winning the next one is crucial to have a chance to continue to the next stage. Which was against Roma and against the special one. I don't think there's more to say, because if I say I'm gonna get in very big trouble. We started the game trailing. But again, fought back. Just for them to score again. Which was my mistake. It happens. It happens, man. It felt exactly like the previous game. However, this time, there was one thing different. Richarlison. I had brought him in and somehow it paid off massively, resulting in an incredible comeback. Anyways, for the last group stage game, we came up against Sevilla. The game that brought me back to reality. I mean, I had no chance. They threw Hakuna Matata on me. Even when I thought I finally had a good chance, Sevilla made sure to educate me that if you have a chance on goal, it doesn't always mean it's a chance for you. So yeah, there goes 1 out of 5 chances for winning a trophy, I guess. Okay, let's just take a deep breath. Move your mouse down and click on the subscribe button. And maybe you also leave a like. Thanks. Oh, and you can breathe out, by the way. It was a bad start, but I can say that the preseason games have shown me some imperfections in my formation. So I made sure to correct them. I mean, this looks much better, doesn't it? We started our first Premier League game against Wolves. A difficult opponent, which showed in the game. Only 5 minutes in and we already got behind. But it didn't take long for us to equalize. And even lead just before half time. In the second half, we totally lost our heads. And conceded again. But Richarlison was there again to save the day. We barely won the game. And this was our form for most of the rest of the games. We didn't play bad, but also not good enough to comfortably win every game. So just a few days before the transfer deadline day, I wanted to make some transfers before things possibly went south in the middle of the season. However, unfortunately, I am not in charge of any transfers the club makes. That power is in the hands of the owner. But I thought I'd just give it a shot, I'll just ask, how hard could it be? So I made a whole list of some very strong players I found interesting and sent them to the owner. If he'll allow at least 2 players to be signed, it would help the team tremendously. A few days had passed and we reached the deadline day. That's the day he decided to respond back with a list he made. I wouldn't say it was a bad list he gave me, but it was quite mid. Yeah, Anyways, I didn't have much choice and time was ticking. So I went with it. So I thought this amount of money for Pau Torres should be enough. 70 million. Es bueno. We agree. No. It's funny you say that because that's not a 7.
Thank you for showing your interest in one of our players, Mr.
Don't
Gellop.
say that. It wasn't really my choice to begin with. Anyways, this should be enough, right?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that number is missing a few more zeros.
How dare ya? Worth more than Pau Torres?
Well, Mr. Gellop, I can surely tell you that he's worth every penny.
I do not believe it. So please explain, because your confidence does intrigue me.
Well, first of all, he's English.
Okay, things weren't going so well. I was struggling to even come close to the asking price of these players. But that's because I was using my inner financial mind. Being very careful. But the club is paying. And oh my, they have over 100 million to spend. So with this new mentality in mind, I went in with a different strategy, which I thought was going pretty smoothly.
I'm sorry, you said what? Playing for Spurs?
Well, big clubs need big players.
No way, man. Is this why you didn't want to tell me where we was going? You said we was going to get some food.
I honestly expected more of a Portuguese accent.
Listen here, Mr. Clean. I ain't playing for your shitty ass team. Get that through your head.
Cheese.
what is it going to be? So, your request to fly his family over from Ecuador and finding a place for them to stay, including coverage of all the costs until the end of his contract, isn't really the problem here. I'm just struggling with the name. Don't worry, you can just say Mijo. Anyways, so with these new signings, I made sure to immediately throw them on the bench. After winning against Nottingham Forest, we reached the first game of the Champions League. These are the champions! Frankfurt. We started the game trading, of course, but thankfully Son and Kane were there to make the equalizer. I mean, thankfully Martins and Richarlison were there to make the equalizer. We even continued to lead, with my son scoring the 2-1, and Kane eventually making it 3-1 before half-time. At the beginning of the second half, there wasn't much happening. Frankfurt were creating some chances, but they were mostly desperate shots, until a very unlucky goal was scored from a mistake. This made us nervous, which resulted in us making mistakes in the back and Frankfurt capitalizing from it. But a master in this season for scoring late goals came in clutch. It was the 90th minute, and he was there again to score the winning goal. A very good start in the Champions League, which we had to continue in the Premier League, because we were coming up against Liverpool. I haven't looked at the table for a minute, but we were aiming for the title, so we'll need to win this game no matter what. So we were safe, for now. Next up, we had another very important game, but this one wasn't just important. This was a game in the Carabao Cup, one of the trophies we were chasing, remember? And it was against Manchester City, which is great. That's sarcasm. Who am I kidding? It doesn't even matter. Because to be the best, you have got to beat the best, am I right? This dropped our confidence. We even were struggling against teams like Brighton. We literally barely scraped a draw. But the worst was still on its way, because we got obliterated in the second Champions League game against Sporting. Anyways, continuing from there, we lost consistency. Drew games we should have won, easily won even. It wasn't awful, but it was nowhere near Champions level. The Champions League was also not looking too good, but I still had hope, even after the two games against Marseille, because we still had to play against Frankfurt and Sporting. But entering the game against Frankfurt, it seemed like either my vision was turning to black and white only, or there was something fishy going on here. So, as expected, we lost the game with the unfair disadvantage. And it didn't stop there, because after that tiring game, we had to play Man City again. This time in the league. I never thought I would see a packed City stadium as much as this. I don't know how they did it. Never thought City could do this. Yeah, okay. Anyways, we were against the club that started my bad form, and they had to pay for what they had done. We only lost by 1 goal in the previous game, so now it's our time to show them what we are capable of. With the next game against Chelsea and my bad form continuing, I was just getting slaughtered. And there was nothing I could do about it. Even the team was starting to turn against each other.
Oh shit goes. Oh, same.
It's the same fucking problem. I only have one question, and then y'all can continue. What the hell is this guy doing here? This was the moment where I had to make a very important decision. Looking at the table, we were 10 points behind top spot. Now, how likely am I able to reach top spot and win the league? I'm now managing Spurs, so let's just keep it realistic, please. That's what I thought. So I've decided to move my focus a bit more to the Champions League. We'll still try and reach top spot. However, I'll keep that responsibility to my assistant coaches, I guess. So anyways, our next and possible final Champions League game is against Sporting. This game will decide everything, because might we lose, we're either out or play Europa League. I mean, who wants to play Europa League? Okay, y'all are just seriously down bad. However, if we manage to win or draw, we'll have a chance to either come second or play Europa League. Get your hands down, which depends on the game of Frankfurt against Marseille. Marseille? Marseille. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. I want to focus on ourselves, because at the end of the day, it's ours to lose. We started the game late. It was a tough game, but we managed to score the first goal in the 30th minute with some beautiful football, might I say. Sporting was knocking on the door, but we were not answering. Continuing in the second half, we dominated possession and got close, doubling our lead. But unfortunately, Sporting fought back and got the equalizer. We tried to immediately bounce back, putting high pressure on them to force a win. Unfortunately, this brought the opposite when the unthinkable happened. Mistake I made in the process was that I chose to buy Becker. This man can turn for shit! I chose to sell Becker for a more suitable player or two. The worst decision in my entire life. I couldn't believe it. This threw everything out the window. And there was nothing I could do about it. So it took me a bit to figure out that we still had a chance. Coming in third place meant we played Europa League, which means we now have to win the Europa League trophy. It does count as a trophy, so done. But we did have to win the preliminary round first. However, looking at the form in the Premier League, the team didn't feel like a team that could win trophies. It felt more like Spurs. We did play our biggest rival in existence, Arsenal. But we drew. You'd think that's an okay result against Arsenal, and I would agree, but not against a 9th place Arsenal. Anyways, it was obvious to me. Things just aren't how they are supposed to be. We are missing high-level football needed to win trophies. So, when we reached the 1st of January, the transfer market was open, and this is the moment to bring change. And I know just the player that could glue this team up together. This one player. Just let me choose.
You ain't gonna do
anything with
I'm
friends.
asking permission!
Have the right.
Well,
Even a ball boy has more rights.
What
than
does
you
that
know
have
that.
anything to
I
do with
all
this?
the transfers.
Okay,
I know my
I don't
better
care.
than
Shut up! This guy is gonna bring you a lot of trophies.
Really?
So to get Madison used to our playing style and give some rest to some of the other boys, I decided to play him in our first FA Cup game against Swansea, which shouldn't be a big issue, is what I thought. Well, there goes another one. So I've decided to do some activities with the players to make them bond more. That's what my therapist said. Some require revealing skills.
Sonny, score! Sonny, finish!
Some require talking.
I think you try to be really clever.
And some are just pure fun and enjoyment. Which made me realize something. All of these players have their own lives, loved ones, and are also just people like us. With a smile on their face if they receive a compliment, or hurt feelings if they get insulted.
That's where my mother sits, you know, that's where my sister sits, you know, everyone's family sits, and our parents have to stand there and have someone 2 rows in front of you calling you a f***ing son of a bitch and a prick and shit and this.
Looking at them with this perspective gave me a better understanding of what it means to play for a football club. It brought me calmness and belief in these players, which I think they could sense as well. Because coming into the next games, we played outstanding. However, the main moment we have been waiting for. Spurs against Trabzonspor. Trabzonspor. A tough game with a lot of chances for both teams, but we got through in a surprising way. A shot, which was actually a low cross, but I'll take it. In the second game, things got a bit more interesting when Trabzonspor scored the equalizing goal on aggregate. We continued. We tried to push and get back in the lead. Unfortunately, we got caught with our pants down. Trabzonspor was in the lead and it didn't look good for us. In the second half, we finally found the back of the net by great anticipation on the rebound of Danjuma. Although we still needed one more goal to go through, we couldn't lose our focus just for them to score again. With not much time left, we found a chance and our greatest signing took it. You really could feel that this was a different team. The way we played, with confidence, there wasn't a moment of doubt. The next game we came up against a different kind of danger. I'll be honest, I highly underestimated Real Betis, but looking at some of the players they have, I should have expected that this game wouldn't be won without a good fight. And that was to be seen. After the first 15 minutes, Juan Mi scores the first goal. We bite back with James Corden scoring the equalizer. We even continue with a goal from Harry Kane. Betis responds back again with another goal, which they also turn into magic by scoring another goal. We were stuck with a bunch of chances, but none was enough to equalize the scoreboard. And that's how the first game ended. Continuing the second leg, we started very strong with a goal from Richarlison, Danjuma, Richarlison, and even a Gareth Bale type of goal from Pedro Porro. Betis was no danger until they chose to bring Kwame, of course. And within a few minutes, this man started scoring beauties. But it was too late, because not only did we score the winning goal, we even ended the game with a 3-goal lead, dissolving us through the next round. Which was against Arsenal, the arch nemesis, the team we played against and somehow ended in a draw. It's time to end them for all, is what I thought before starting the game. Because for the first game, they outplayed us, giving us no chance to bounce back. Which ended the game in a 3-0. A loss. I knew we had it in us though, to get back up from this slip up. I didn't only know, I believed. The first 90 minutes were up, and the game was level, and we all still required one last push. However, after a couple of chances, we fell into the same trap. Arsenal came in with a counter-attack, which caught us by surprise. But before the whistle could be blown for the first half of extra time, we bounced back. Arsenal was getting desperate. This time, we caught them by surprise. But with still time on the clock, Arsenal got very dangerous. We had to survive this, and after 210 minutes of football, we conceded. No, we didn't concede. We won, which felt incredible. And next to that, we kept a winning streak in the league. I mean, we felt amazing. We had one round left to reach the finals. We needed to win from Lazio. The first game went as smooth as expected. We had chances, and there wasn't really any danger moments from Lazio. We ended the game with a 2-goal lead. The second leg was a different story. Lazio was looking for revenge. It didn't take long for them to even the score. On another day, we would have also got behind. However, I felt that my players had learned from those lessons. They fought back, scoring 3 in a row, making our comeback for Lazio impossible. With this win, we secured a spot in the Europa League final. All the signs were pointing at us winning this trophy, and in this form, not even PSG would have been able to take that away from us.
Gellop, I know how hard it has been. You're seeing these glimpses and don't know what to do. Trust me, I know all about it. I can sense a concern in you. You know something is not right, and I know you can feel it. Whatever you do, just remember one thing, yeah? Believe in yourself, because if you don't, nobody else will.
As dark as life can be sometimes, it always finds its way to the light. Just know that you too will find your way. Now, you might be wondering, did Gellop find his? Well, after reaching the European finals, he looked different. The whole team actually did. Because the day before the final, Gellop came up with a new game plan, which was interesting, to say the least. However, after the game, I don't think there looked to be anyone happier than him. As expected, Gellop was let go. Looking at the rest of the club, there were some other interesting events that occurred. Like Harry Kane, who returned to his home country, where he now plays for Bayern Munich. Carlson went on to become a breakdance teacher for kids. Levy is taking a course on how to act more human. I think he's doing great. And that's about it, actually. Some things are just not meant to change.